Well, that was fucking dreadful.
Welcome back to Black and White Banter, you lovely Newcastle fans. It's match day, but unfortunately what I have behind me is not the Vitality Stadium. It is Shearer's Bar and it is St James's Park. So what you're getting on this video is basically a council estate Aldi knockoff of a match day vlog. It's not quite a match day vlog, but you know what? I was sat on the sofa, the dog had been walked, she was fast asleep next to us, and I was just sat on my Todd thinking, do you know what, this is shite. I hate it. I hate not being at the away games. That's why I've only missed a couple this season. So I thought I'm going to chuck my coat on, get on the Metro, come over Newcastle. So I don't know where I'm going to watch it. Probably Shearer's Bar just behind us because there's absolutely tons of screens. Mingle with fans a little bit, get a bit of atmosphere, and hopefully watch the boys bring 3 points all the way back down from the south coast. So yeah, it's not quite the vlog that I wish it was, all the way down to Bournemouth, although the bus I was thinking of going on's actually broken down today, so not the best trip for all them fans. But I'm going to wait for team news to come in. Probably just stick me in Shearer's. Like I say, safest place. But if you are new round here, Newcastle fans, do us a favour, give us a little likey loo, whack that subscribe, because hopefully I might speak to some fans like I do on home match days. I'm not going to make a habit of this. You know, I should be down there, should be supporting the boys. I feel like I'm letting the side down when you don't go to an away game. But here we are, let's get amongst it. But I'm going to try and stay off the drink. If there is one thing that I do not need in my life after Germany, it is a beer. And compared to German beer, whatever I had in here would be a letdown anyway. Team news is out very soon. Oh yeah! Oh, team news is out. Mr. Miley's in. Hey, I said in the build-up to a couple of people who were calling for him to come in, this might be a scrappy game for Miley to come in for. But I tell you what, let's see what the man is made of. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, and he's only a young kid. In America, in really difficult matches against the likes of Villa and Chelsea, he impressed me. We are down to the bare bones. Our substitute bench, I had to laugh. Our substitute bench, apart from Livramento, is awful. I mean, Paul Dummett, if we 1-0 down, bring him on, stick him up front, you never know. Imagine Paul Dummett belly flopping into the away end if he scored an injury time winner. But we are literally down to the bare bones, and that is an understatement. He's got no options there really to bring on, apart from Livramento, maybe from an attacking sense. Let's see how Hall does. He hasn't had much Premier League minutes so far for us. I still feel like we've got enough in that team to get over the line. Some really gritty, experienced Newcastle players. Your Joe Lintons, your Longstaffs, your Willocks, who've all been around the block for us now for quite a while. Trippier's in there. Defence is pretty much as you would, apart from Dan Burn. And Callum Wilson hasn't made it. I wasn't overly expecting him to, but I tell you what, he'd better not go off with England, because that would piss me off. So, no Callum Wilson. Anthony Gordon down the middle. I'm a little bit concerned about that because I feel like he missed something. He's such an outlet on the left-hand side, but hopefully Joe Willock can do the business there. I'm still confident we've got much more in the tank than this poor Bournemouth team. Let's get this one over the line, settle down and get some players back in the international break. Oh, yeah, lads! Half-time in Shearer's Bar. God, based off that first half, I'm kind of glad I didn't make the 7-hour journey down to the south coast. I think I would have rather gone on the beach for some fish and chips. I didn't think I'd be saying that we're hanging on against Bournemouth, but my God, are we? They've had some right chances. Some right chances in that first half. Nick Pope, a couple of them are routine saves, but he still kept us in it. And we finished that half with Joe Linton, Ritchie and Gordon as our front three. Joe Linton got moved through the middle. I came into this with optimism because the players we could start was still of good quality, but maybe this is just one game too many. We've had a couple of sniffs, good chance from a corner, from a set piece, but generally speaking Bournemouth have really stretched us. They've had all of the ball, and that's probably one of their best performances of the season, I would imagine, so far in the first half. But the important thing is that it's still 0-0. Lewis Miley, he can be proud of his first half performance. He does not look out of place at all, really comfortable on the ball. On to the second half we go. It is 0-0. Eddie Howe will get the boys in and calm them down. He's got no changes really to make apart from Livramento. Matt Ritchie, let's see whether he can bang one in, sing his magic that song again. But 0-0. On to the second half we go. God, if the second half goes like that, I will be glad I didn't make the journey down. Away the lads. Right, just come out of Shearer's Bar. I'm joined by Dave, who I've just had the pleasure of speaking to. Oh, I'm not used to being outside St James's Park for away games, but here I am. Davey, try and sum that one up.
The game today, Newcastle are up for it, but no, they'll let us down, but they're better in play. Bit disappointed, but it's a good location, beautiful place to be. and Newcastle. I have money on them to win the league this year.
To win the league?
To win the league, yes. I'm not.
How much, if you don't mind us asking?
£50 odd.
Wow, right. What odds did you get on that?
I've got that in Killy, and I get £37,000 back.
I don't think you'll be getting that 37,000.
No, I think I'm a loser on that one, but hey, but I've still got the single bet on Newcastle to win the league this year.
Right, okay, right.
But I don't think Newcastle will do it this year. Or maybe 2 years' time, Newcastle will win the league.
So, do you think was today just a step too far with the injuries, the suspensions? Is that what we put it down to, or are you looking into that game a bit deeper? Are you more worried about that game than just injuries and suspensions being the problem?
This game today, I think Bournemouth outplayed them. Newcastle looked good, but bring on to Bournemouth, they took the game.
Yeah.
Yes, but a bit disappointed in Newcastle. But once the injuries are done, I think we'll sail through. I hope so, for my bet.
International break couldn't come at a better time, could it? 2 week break.
2 week break. Let Newcastle come back to ourselves. Look at where they made mistakes. Yes.
Which player out of all the players that were missing tonight, and there was a lot, which player do you think we missed the most? Do you think we needed a striker? Do you think it was maybe Bruno in the middle? What did you think?
Striker,
yeah. I thought the same, just an outlet.
Alan Shearer would have been up there.
Yeah. To hold the ball up a little bit.
Hold the ball up and score goals.
Yeah.
I think they missed that.
Yeah. How did you think Lewis Miley, the young lad, got on? First half, into the second half?
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes.
He held his own.
Bring him on. Yeah, he held his own.
So with the injuries and suspensions in mind, you're not too worried then? You think get some players back in the international break and then go again?
He will go again.
And then you might win your bet.
I hope so. I hope so, I'll tell you.
And you staying at the Sandman just over the road? I can actually get Sandman just up there. Very good location overlooking Shearers. So full night out on the tune tonight?
Yes, had it last night.
Right.
And tonight.
Same again tonight?
Same again tonight.
Happy days. I think you'll need a few after that.
Then back to Scotland.
Thank you very much for speaking to me, sir. Right, just outside Shearers Bar. Sum up that one. Well, I'd say some of that in one word, but
it was what I expected. We didn't have enough to be the team that's fighting for.
I get what you're saying and what you expected with injuries and suspensions, but did you expect it to be that one-sided? Because I didn't.
Yes, really, I did. I did expect it to be that one-sided.
Right, okay.
We didn't have anything up front at all. They held the ball. So, yeah, it is what I expected. It was a regular action, which, yeah.
Do you think it was just a case of one game too many?
One game too many, yes, I do.
And if out of all the injuries and suspensions we had today, which was the one position that you feel like we could have done with that player being back? Was it Bruno, Wilson, Botman?
I said, Wilson, somebody up front to hold the ball.
Yeah. Gordon's not natural there, is he? Unless you're getting the ball in behind.
No. You need somebody to hold the ball. And, we didn't have anybody to do that. And it takes the pressure away from midfield and defence.
So international break coming at a very good time?
Yes, very good time for us, yeah.
And because of that, I'm going to assume you're not too worried.
I'm not, no. It's one of them games where we could lose any time, but especially with a team like that, yeah. It's a one-off, to me. Total one-off.
So nothing concerned you tonight? Any individual performances?
Not at all. If I'm honest, it's one of them games where the players that come in get a bit of experience. It'll help them in the future.
Yeah.
For me,
I like the positivity because I'm kind of the same thinking that maybe
you've got to have positive.
Well, I did coming into the game. I thought we might have had enough in the tank just to get over the line tonight. But
I'm an old sod. I know what we've had in the past.
You've seen shite.
That I've saw total shite. In what I support in the past, this is different level.
I mean, the injuries when Shea went down and then Almiron, I was like, my God. Then Longstaff went down.
The way we are at the minute, it was a bad day, but we'll push on in the future. No bother whatsoever.
And just on the back of the Champions League with Tuesday's game in mind that's just gone, do you think we can still get out of that group, or do you think that's a bit of an ask? You do?
No, I do. I think we can get a point at PSG and we'll beat Milan at home. That's a weird.
Again, I like. I don't know how many beers you've had, but I like the positivity all the same.
It's a way I do it.
Good.
I've had too many shite days.
Thank you very much for speaking. Well, it's not a home game, but I thought I may as well you come to my usual spot where I always talk about Newcastle after matches. I tell you what, Newcastle under Eddie Howe, you can name on one hand games where we just haven't been at the races. My mind goes to Aston Villa away from home when we got beat 3-0 back end of last season. Brighton this season was a really off-colour performance, but tonight was an off-colour performance. I'm not going to stand here and say otherwise. You have to talk about the game as a game, forgetting about the injuries and suspensions. But it's a one that was a bit of an eye-opener, and it's one that I almost take with a bit of a pinch of salt, because looking at that team, when I went into this game with what you could maybe argue is false optimism. I get a lot of people commenting on my videos, "Oh, I love your optimism." It's not because I'm just that guy who's constantly happy. Well, I mean, I am quite a happy guy, but it's because that's what Eddie Howe's installed in me, and I feel like we can beat anyone. And I thought about the players that would be playing tonight. Who did play? Your Willocks, your Joe Lintons, your Longstaffs, your Gordons, your Trippiers. And I'm thinking that's enough to get past Bournemouth. And I think on paper, players matched up. Of course it is. Bournemouth have got one Premier League win all season. Not a good team by any means. But that performance was an eye-opener for me that maybe, yes, I didn't take into consideration sometimes that these players are just a little bit fatigued. It's just maybe one game too many. It's just maybe one too many injuries too many. And I saw the substitutes bench, as I said before, and I laughed. I couldn't. If you don't laugh, you cry. It was that dry. It's the best way I can describe it. And then Shea goes down, and you're crapping yourself. And then Almiron goes down and comes off for Richie. And then Longstaff goes down in the second half, and it's just getting ridiculous. It's like the staff at the Newcastle RVI. I just sat there thinking, oh God, not another one. Not that they go to the RVI, but you know what I mean. And if you look at the players that had to come on, Richie, no disrespect to him, he's not a Premier League footballer anymore. He's not. He can come in, as we saw against Man United in the Cup, and do a job, but he's not a Premier League footballer. Then you've got young Parkinson, who came on the second half. And I tell you what was missing on the topic of Parkinson. I'm not saying he did bad or good. He didn't really get much chance to do anything. There was a moment in the second half that will stand out for me, where the ball was on their sort of goal line, goal kick line, and Parkinson chased it down, didn't give the defender a second, and he won a tackle. The sort of tackle that us Newcastle fans cheer all the time at St James's, and that was the first time for me that had happened in that game, and that was one of the players who's barely kicked a football, and that just told me everything about that match, because the likes of Anthony Gordon and Longstaff and Joe Linton, they didn't have that snap about them tonight. And Bournemouth, they ran us ragged. I'm not going to deny that. I've got no pride. I'm not one of these people who's got too much pride in saying that. Yes, did I say on my pre-match preview that Solanke didn't bother me? Yes. Did he score 2 goals and win man of the match for Sky Sports? Yes. Have I got massive egg on my face? If I had a lot more followers, I'd be some sort of meme, I think, in the next couple of days from Bournemouth fans. But, you take the rough with the smooth. I'll take that. I'll probably laugh if I saw that. Luckily, not that many people follow my page. But that told me everything. We had no aggression, no bite, and Bournemouth matched us for energy so much. And I tell you what, it was a case. I don't like to say this, we looked like we were flogging a dead horse. It looked like Eddie Howe's mags were literally the name of a horse that was getting forced around the track at Gosforth Racecourse trying to finish a race, and that's exactly what it was. There was no idea, no identity in how we were playing. There was no energy. It looked like, for me, in the second half, it was a case of us just trying to get over the line. And it is not an exaggeration to say that Bournemouth could have won that football match tonight 6-0. 7-0. That wouldn't have been an exaggeration. It wouldn't. Nick Pope, you can say what you want about the man with the ball at his feet, and I've said plenty. He's coming for so much criticism. That's another game where Nick Pope, especially that save towards the second half, with his right hand, that reaction save, absolutely brilliant. He's kept us in it. He really, really has. And there was and Bournemouth will be kicking themselves they haven't scored more. And I would struggle to believe that Bournemouth will have a better performance than that all season. They are going to be down there at the end of the year. But my God, did they batter us? And did I expect that performance? As I've just said to a bloke there who said he expected us to lose. I didn't. Did I expect it to be a scrappy game? Yes. Was it a scrappy game in some areas? Yes. Sorry. It's quite cold. The old nose is running. But I didn't expect us to get battered like that. I still think we might have had enough in the tank. I thought so many players were off tonight. I thought Joe Linton put in another poor show when I just thought we were getting the Joe Linton back that I love, the dominating Joe Linton. He was then moved up front. Eddie Howe tinkered so much tonight. He did. I'm not against that when we've got so many injuries, but I do think you need a little bit of stability through a game. Joe Linton was through the middle. Gordon was through the middle. Livramento was on the left. Livramento was on the right. I don't know whether him and Mad Dog Tyndall on the touchline were like, damage limitations, let's mix this up a little bit. Parkinson comes on. I thought Lewis Miley, hey, cometh the hour, cometh the man, as I said before the match when I heard he was in the team. He was put in a scrappy game, a difficult game, and I thought he held his own. Really comfortable on the ball, really nice touches here and there in a game that was difficult, and I think he's only come out of that with credit. I've got nothing bad to say about the lad at all. The goals we conceded, first goal was just unfortunate. I mean, the way Joe Willock's intervention of the ball runs through to Solanke, it's a decent finish from there, but they deserved that. It was coming. We were treading on the thinnest of thin ice. It was ridiculous. The second goal, again, it's scrappy in there and he taps it in. Parkinson can maybe react a little bit better, but you're clutching at straws to find a reason. We were hoping VAR might have sorted us out. What did we do at the other end? There's no chances for me that I can say should have scored. Longstaff had a one over the bar. There was a chance from the corner in the first half. We haven't tested the goalkeeper enough. And I just think, when all is said and done, I'll always admit that I'm wrong in my positivity. Maybe that was, as some people talked about, just a game too far. Long trip down to Bournemouth after travelling back from Dortmund, trying to give it everything in Europe's top competition. Bruno out, Wilson out. I mean, we missed the striker so much tonight. We did. I don't know how teams in the Premier League, Pep Guardiola, I know people say he's a genius, he is. Pep Guardiola, how he plays without a striker and manages to win football matches, because God, we were up balls in the box tonight and it was just going to no one, no outlet in a game that we needed an outlet, someone to hold the ball up. Bad performances tonight, and we have to talk about them. Sorry, my arm's fallen asleep. Oh, I'll just shuffle you down a little bit. My God. Bad performances. I thought Trippier, as much as we love him, people talk about him as being one of our best signings ever. He was poor, and we are allowed to say that. He gave the ball away, almost conceded a goal from it. He just looked really, really out of sorts, he did. And then Livramento, when he came on, every single thing that Livramento does is almost pristine. He's passing, he's tackling, his movement. Honestly, I think we do need to start considering a way of getting him in the team, and if that's Trippier left back, Livramento right back, I'm all for that. Other notable bad performances, I thought Joe Willock, who hasn't played much football lately, might have offered a little bit more. He was probably one of our brightest sparks, but I didn't think he played that well. The whole team, let's face it, the whole team wasn't very good tonight. We weren't good in our organisation, we weren't good in our press, we weren't good in our attack, we weren't good on the ball, we weren't good off the ball, and my God did we not match Bournemouth. But credit where credit is due, they were good tonight, and I think if Bournemouth played like that every week, we get annoyed as Newcastle fans that when we win matches people talk about how bad the opposition was. Well, let's just take a second to say that Bournemouth tonight were very, very, very good, very organised in defence, very organised in how they attacked us going forward, switched on, full of energy, and they deserved the win massively, and they certainly deserved to score more goals than what they did. We were beaten by the much better team. The international break now, in my opinion, could not come at a better time. If there's one thing Eddie Howe's mags seem to do, it's come back from international breaks a hell of a lot stronger. Not only will we come back after a nice refresh break where the lads can go to Benidorm, Dubai, wherever they want to go. You go and have a couple of days off, lads, refresh, think about what's gone right, what's gone wrong, but we will come back with more players to go at in our next fixture, and the fixtures again are going to come thick and fast. They are. December looks absolutely hectic with Champions League and Carabao Cup quarter-finals. Let's get some players back in this international break. Let's reset. Tonight wasn't good enough, and I'm not going to stand here and say, oh, injuries are the reason we got battered. Yes, they were. They were a huge contributing factor. I haven't seen a Newcastle team that depleted that I can remember in my life, and there will have been, but not of recent memory. But we still needed to play better than we did tonight. So I'm not happy, and I'm not going to sugarcoat every single loss that we have under Eddie Howe just because the man cannot be touched. That was not good enough tonight. Bournemouth were the better side. One game too many, I think. Onto this international break we go. I'm still keeping every moment, every ounce of faith in Eddie Howe's mags. Why would I not? this was maybe just one too many. Keep the faith, Newcastle fans. I wish I was down there with all the other travelling fans, even though it would have been an awful journey back. I've hated coming out to Shearers Bar to watch an away game. I'm a home and away fan through and through. I really, really am. So I won't be doing this many more times, many of these sorts of videos. But if you've liked it regardless, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Keep the faith, Newcastle fans. Please keep the faith. How are the lads?